What if Goku never lost his tail? How would the story of Dragon Ball change if Goku kept his Saiyan heritage intact from the very beginning? Would he have become even more powerful, or would the world have been a different place with the dangers of a full-blooded Saiyan on Earth? Let's dive into this alternate timeline and explore the possibilities. From the moment Goku lands on Earth, his tail remains intact. Unlike the original timeline where it was removed by Grandpa Gohan, Goku's tail becomes an important part of his identity. His tail gives him the ability to transform into an Oozuru, the great ape, when he gazes at the full moon. The raw power that comes from this transformation makes Goku a much more dangerous and unpredictable fighter. With his tail still intact, Goku frequently transforms into the Oozuru during battles, using the overwhelming power to destroy foes in his path. During his early fights, he learns to control the Oozuru form more efficiently, but the sheer destruction caused by the transformation often puts the Z fighters on edge. The first time Goku turns into Oozuru, it takes the combined effort of his friends to subdue the massive ape, but they manage to do so by cutting off his tail. With his tail, Goku's transformations become much more dangerous. During his fight with Vegeta, the two Saiyans clash in a battle that would rival the original fight. However, instead of Goku being pushed to the brink of death and relying on his friends to help, Goku's Oozuru form gives him the upper hand, and Vegeta finds himself outmatched in their battle. Goku's newfound power from his tail makes him a force to be reckoned with, even without needing to rely on the Spirit Bomb. While Goku's tail offers immense power, it also becomes a liability in certain situations. As his strength grows, he has a harder time controlling the Oozuru form. In critical moments, like when the Z fighters are facing off against powerful foes such as Frieza or Cell, Goku struggles to keep his tail under control, and the risk of transforming into an uncontrollable Oozuru is ever present. The Z fighters are forced to develop new strategies to deal with Goku's tail. They work with him to help control his Oozuru form, learning more about the Saiyan transformation and discovering new techniques to contain its destructive power. Piccolo, especially, becomes more involved in training Goku to master his abilities, knowing that the full extent of Goku's power could change the fate of the universe. What if Goku never became a Super Saiyan? How would the Dragon Ball universe change if Goku never achieved the legendary transformation that saved the universe from tyrants like Frieza? Would he still defeat the powerful foes he faces? Or would his story take a different path? Let's explore this alternate timeline and see how Goku's journey unfolds without the power of the Super Saiyan. In this alternate timeline, Goku never taps into the Super Saiyan transformation. When facing Frieza on Namek, Goku remains at his base Saiyan strength, fighting with all of his might. The battle is intense, but without the overwhelming power boost of the Super Saiyan form, Goku struggles against Frieza's devastating strength. He puts up a valiant effort, but Frieza's relentless attacks begin to overwhelm him. As Goku nears defeat, his friends, Vegeta, Piccolo, Gohan, and the others, rush to help him. Without the Super Saiyan transformation, Goku relies more on his comrades to assist in the battle against Frieza. Vegeta, driven by his own pride, pushes himself further, while Piccolo and Gohan try to buy time for Goku to recover. The combined efforts of the Z fighters make it a close battle, but the odds are still heavily stacked in Frieza's favor. As Frieza prepares for his final blow, Goku's resolve begins to waver. However, his friends push him to keep fighting, telling him that Earth's fate rests on his shoulders. In this scenario, Goku's will to protect Earth and his friends inspires him to unlock a new level of power, though it doesn't compare to the Super Saiyan. It's a combination of his Saiyan blood, determination, and the power of his bonds with his friends that enables him to keep going. In this timeline, the battle against Frieza takes a dramatic turn. Without the Super Saiyan transformation, Goku doesn't defeat Frieza in the way we know. Instead, it takes the combined efforts of the Z fighters, alongside the Dragon Balls, to finally defeat Frieza. The fight is more tactical and relies heavily on teamwork. While Goku survives, it's not the explosive victory that was originally envisioned. The universe still remains in danger, though, with Goku's journey taking a much darker turn. Without the Super Saiyan transformation, Goku never reaches the same level of power that would allow him to defeat future threats like Cell, or Majin Buu. Earth remains vulnerable, and the Z fighters are forced to confront threats in new ways, including relying on strategies and techniques they never needed before. What if Goku was never sent to planet Vegeta and was instead born and raised on Earth? How would his life unfold in this alternate timeline? Without the influence of the Saiyan race and his violent origins, Goku's journey would be drastically different. Let's explore how this change impacts Goku's growth, his relationships, and the threats he would eventually face. In this timeline, Goku is born on Earth and raised by Grandpa Gohan, never knowing his true Saiyan heritage. His early years are filled with adventure, as he learns martial arts from Gohan and develops a kind heart. Without the traumatic experience of being sent to Earth as a baby, Goku never exhibits the same violent tendencies and instead becomes a loving and caring individual. His pure nature attracts those around him, and he quickly forms strong bonds with the people he meets. With Goku raised on Earth, Vegeta never arrives to challenge him. There's no need for the intense rivalry that defines the relationship between Goku and Vegeta in the original timeline. Goku instead grows stronger through peaceful training and friendly competitions with Earth's greatest martial artists, like Krillin and Master Roshi. His friendly nature allows him to form lasting alliances, and he continues to protect Earth without the need for Saiyan aggression. Without the Super Saiyan transformation or the presence of other powerful Saiyans, the Earth remains relatively peaceful. However, the universe is filled with other threats. Without the intervention of the Saiyans, new villains emerge from other corners of the universe. While Goku is strong, he still faces many challenges that test his skills, like the androids or the return of Frieza, though he doesn't have the same overwhelming power as a Super Saiyan to rely on. As Goku continues to grow, he forms close bonds with Earth's heroes. His friendship with Krillin deepens, and he begins to mentor the younger generation, such as Gohan and Trunks, without the burden of Saiyan heritage weighing him down. Goku's role as a protector of Earth becomes more defined, and he becomes a symbol of peace and hope. However, the absence of his true Saiyan potential limits his ability to face certain enemies, especially those with godly power. In this timeline, Goku's journey is one of growth through self-discipline, friendship, and determination. He never experiences the dark side of his Saiyan heritage and instead becomes a figure who represents hope for the universe. He continues to protect Earth and its inhabitants, but the challenges he faces are often more emotional and psychological rather than physical. Though he never reaches the power level of Super Saiyan, Goku's strength lies in his resilience, kindness, and unwavering desire to protect his loved ones. What if Goku had been trained by King Kai from the very beginning of his journey? King Kai, one of the most powerful and wise beings in the universe, could have shaped Goku into a vastly different fighter. Instead of his traditional training under Master Roshi and later Piccolo, Goku could have gained new techniques and immense power early on. How would this early training affect his growth and his battles against the toughest foes? After his death at the hands of Raditz, Goku is given the chance to train under King Kai, the wise and powerful god of the North. From the start, Goku is impressed by King Kai's strength and wisdom. King Kai doesn't only teach him basic combat skills, but also introduces him to techniques such as the Kaio-ken and the Spirit Bomb. With these new abilities, Goku's potential skyrockets, and he quickly becomes one of the strongest warriors on Earth, even surpassing many Z fighters. Thanks to his training with King Kai, Goku gains powerful techniques much earlier than in the original timeline. The Kaio-ken gives him a massive boost in power, and the Spirit Bomb, which he learns to master, becomes one of his most iconic moves. Goku's combat style becomes more versatile, using not only his raw strength, but also his newly acquired techniques to take on foes that would normally overwhelm him. When Raditz arrives on Earth, Goku is ready for him. Thanks to his training under King Kai, he is no longer the same fighter who struggled against Raditz in the original timeline. With Kaio-ken at his disposal, Goku is able to match Raditz in power, and the battle becomes much more even. Though Raditz still proves to be a formidable foe, Goku's early training gives him the edge needed to defeat his brother. With the added advantage of King Kai's training, Goku is much stronger when he faces Vegeta and Nappa. He no longer struggles against Nappa and is able to hold his own against Vegeta in their first battle. His Kaio-ken allows him to fight on equal footing with Vegeta, and even though Vegeta still holds an advantage, Goku's resilience and determination allow him to push past his limits. The Z fighters are more prepared for the battle, thanks to Goku's early training, and they come closer to defeating Vegeta. With his training under King Kai, Goku continues to grow at an extraordinary rate. By the time of the Frieza saga, he's already more powerful than ever before, and his mastery of the Kaio-ken and Spirit Bomb makes him a serious threat. His ability to keep up with powerful foes is now much more reliable, and he becomes Earth's ultimate protector, battling villains like Frieza, Cell, and Majin Buu with greater ease than in the original timeline. What if Goku had been trained by both Master Roshi and Piccolo from the start? Master Roshi, the legendary martial artist and wise mentor, combined with Piccolo, the powerful Namekian warrior, could have given Goku a unique blend of strength, strategy, and wisdom. This combination of teachings would shape Goku into a well-rounded fighter, blending the best aspects of both masters. How would this dual training affect Goku's growth and his battles against powerful foes? After Goku's defeat of the Saiyans, Master Roshi and Piccolo agreed to team up and train him together. Master Roshi focuses on refining Goku's basic martial arts skills, teaching him the importance of discipline and technique. Meanwhile, Piccolo trains Goku in the art of strategy, emphasizing his strengths as a fighter and teaching him to use his intellect in battle. The combination of these two vastly different teaching styles results in Goku becoming a more complete and versatile fighter. Thanks to Master Roshi's traditional training, Goku's speed and power are enhanced. Roshi's teachings help Goku unlock new techniques, such as the Kamehameha, with more control and precision. Piccolo's training, however, pushes Goku to think more critically and strategize during battle. He learns how to read his opponent's movements and outsmart them, making him not only stronger, but also more tactical. By combining the strengths of both mentors, Goku is now ready for any battle. Raditz arrives on Earth, but this time, Goku is no longer the inexperienced fighter he was in the original timeline. With Master Roshi's martial arts expertise and Piccolo's strategic mindset, Goku is ready for the challenge. The battle is much more even, with Goku quickly analyzing Raditz's tactics and countering them with his new abilities. Goku's enhanced combat abilities and strategic mind allow him to hold his own against Raditz much more effectively than before. By the time Vegeta and Nappa arrive, Goku's combination of strength and strategy makes him a serious threat. He uses his speed, precision, and intellect to outmaneuver Nappa, defeating him quickly. Against Vegeta, Goku employs the Kaio-ken with strategic thinking, exploiting Vegeta's overconfidence and overpowering him in a way he never could have in the original timeline. Goku's new, balanced training proves to be an incredible advantage in this battle. As the threats grow stronger, Goku's dual training with Master Roshi and Piccolo continues to pay off. During the Frieza saga, Goku is able to maintain his composure and strategize under pressure, using every advantage at his disposal. His blend of raw power and tactical thinking makes him a more complete fighter, and by the time of the Android and Cell sagas, he's become an even stronger, more versatile warrior capable of adapting to any situation. What if Goku had been trained by Whis, the angelic attendant of the god of destruction, Beerus, from a young age? Whis is known for his unparalleled martial arts skills and vast cosmic knowledge, not to mention his ability to train beings at a level far beyond ordinary mortal capabilities. If Goku had access to Whis's tutelage from the very beginning, how would his power and abilities evolve? Could he have surpassed the gods of destruction themselves? At a young age, Goku is taken to Beerus's planet by Whis, who begins his training immediately. Unlike the rigorous training from Master Roshi or Piccolo, Whis's training focuses on perfecting Goku's control over his energy and unlocking potential far beyond what Goku had experienced before. Whis's guidance allows Goku to master techniques like the Super Saiyan God form early on, and his power grows exponentially under Whis's tutelage. With Whis's divine training, Goku's power grows at a rate never seen before. He learns how to utilize Ultra Instinct at an early age, mastering the technique with ease. Whis helps Goku tap into his latent godly powers, making him capable of fighting on par with deities. Not only does his raw power increase, but his mental focus and combat awareness improve drastically, allowing him to think several moves ahead in battle. Under Whis' guidance, Goku is not only able to fight against mortals, but also gods themselves. During the Tournament of Power, Goku faces off against the likes of Jiren, who is known to be one of the strongest mortal fighters. However, Goku's enhanced powers and mastery of Ultra Instinct put him on a completely different level. In this timeline, Goku is capable of holding his own against Beerus, even overpowering the god of destruction in certain moments. As Goku's power continues to grow, Whis teaches him how to refine his god ki, pushing him to become a true force to be reckoned with. Goku starts to transcend the limits of the Super Saiyan transformations, surpassing even the Super Saiyan Blue form. With his new abilities, Goku becomes a rival to the gods of destruction, capable of tapping into power that could potentially rival the strength of beings like Zeno, the Omni King. With the combination of Ultra Instinct and his mastery of God Ki, Goku's power is unparalleled. He becomes a protector of not only Earth, but the entire universe. Goku's ability to transcend mortal limits and rival the strength of deities ensures that no one can defeat him. He now stands as the ultimate warrior, capable of protecting the universe from even the most powerful threats. What if Goku had taken on the role of the leader of the Z Fighters? In the main timeline, Goku is often seen as the strongest fighter, but he tends to take a more laid-back approach, letting others lead or make important decisions. But what if, instead of stepping back, Goku fully embraced the responsibility of leading his team? How would the Z Fighters fare with Goku as their strategist and leader in the battles to come? After the defeat of Frieza, Goku realizes that the universe is full of powerful foes, and it's time for him to step up. He decides to take on the leadership role, guiding the Z Fighters with not just his strength, but his wisdom and battle strategy. Goku's first step is to bring the team together, focusing on their individual strengths and improving their teamwork. Under his guidance, the Z Fighters start training together more intensively, creating a well-coordinated unit. With Goku's leadership, each fighter begins to unlock new potential. Vegeta, recognizing Goku's determination, begins to push himself harder than ever, training to surpass his own limits. Piccolo, already a master strategist, works closely with Goku to develop new techniques and battle plans. Gohan, inspired by his father's leadership, trains with more focus and discipline. Even Krillin and Tien become formidable warriors under Goku's guidance. The Z Fighters evolve into a more cohesive and dangerous team, capable of facing threats that would have once been too great to overcome. With their new training and improved teamwork, the Z Fighters are ready to face even more formidable enemies. When new threats emerge, such as powerful foes from other universes or new, unknown villains, Goku's tactical mind leads them to victory. His ability to predict the enemy's moves, combined with the team's unity, allows them to defeat even the strongest opponents. As the leader, Goku also provides guidance in times of crisis, making critical decisions that turn the tide of battle in their favor. In a universe where Goku is the leader, he not only faces powerful mortals, but also the gods of destruction. As the Z Fighters grow stronger, Goku challenges Beerus in a battle that shakes the very foundation of the universe. With his leadership and the Z Fighters by his side, Goku comes up with innovative strategies that allow them to hold their own against deities. In this timeline, Goku's bond with his team is stronger than ever, making them an unstoppable force against the most powerful beings in existence. As Goku's leadership abilities continue to evolve, he becomes more than just the strongest fighter. He becomes the heart and soul of the Z Fighters. His confidence and determination inspire the team, and his growth as a tactician ensures their victories. The Z Fighters, under Goku's leadership, are no longer just a group of powerful individuals. They are a united force that can take on any challenge, no matter how great. Goku's role as a leader not only strengthens his bonds with his friends, but also ensures the survival of the universe. What if Goku had never met Master Roshi? Master Roshi's teachings were crucial in Goku's development, from his martial arts techniques to his character. What would have happened if Goku had never crossed paths with the wise old martial artist? Would Goku have become the same warrior he is today, Or would his journey have been drastically different? Let's explore this alternate timeline and see how Goku's path would have been altered without Master Roshi. Without Master Roshi, Goku would have likely grown up differently. While Goku's grandpa Gohan taught him basic martial arts, Roshi's advanced techniques and wisdom played a critical role in shaping his growth. Without Roshi's influence, Goku would have missed out on the Kamehameha wave, one of his most iconic attacks. He would have trained solely under his own instincts and the basic teachings from Grandpa Gohan. Though still strong, Goku would have lacked the proper martial arts foundation that Master Roshi provided, which could have slowed his progress. After Goku grows older, he would continue his training on his own, relying on his innate strength and the skills taught by Grandpa Gohan. However, without the structured guidance that Master Roshi would have provided, Goku may have developed a more instinctive, raw fighting style. His progress would likely have been slower, as he wouldn't have been exposed to the level of training and techniques that Roshi imparted. While his strength would still be formidable, Goku would have to rely more on his natural abilities and would have less access to advanced techniques like the Kamehameha. Master Roshi not only trained Goku, but also introduced him to important friends, like Krillin and the rest of the Z fighters. Without Roshi, Goku may never have met Krillin, and their bond, which would later grow into a deep friendship, might have never existed. Goku's connections with the other Z fighters could have also been delayed or even never formed, which would have impacted the strength of the team as a whole. Without these important relationships, Goku might have remained more isolated, focusing only on his individual strength rather than forming bonds with others. Without Master Roshi's wisdom and influence, Goku may have struggled in many of his early battles. Roshi's teachings prepared Goku not only for the physical battles, but also for the mental and strategic aspects of combat. Without that guidance, Goku might have been more reckless in his early fights, potentially facing greater challenges. However, his natural fighting instincts, combined with his relentless determination, would have likely allowed him to survive and grow stronger in battle. It's possible that Goku would have eventually developed similar techniques, but without Roshi's early training, it would have taken much longer. As Goku matures, he becomes a powerful fighter on his own, but without the leadership and guidance from Master Roshi, he might not have developed into the hero that we know. While he's still incredibly strong, his character development would have been incomplete without Roshi's influence. Goku may have lacked the understanding of the importance of teamwork, strategy, and the value of a team's support. Without Roshi's mentorship, Goku might have been a lone warrior, missing the deep bonds that would have helped him overcome the toughest challenges in the universe. What if Goku had trained under King Kai from the very beginning? King Kai's teachings were pivotal for Goku's development, especially his understanding of martial arts, energy control, and the Kaio-ken technique. But what if Goku had started his training with King Kai before everything else? How would this early exposure to advanced techniques and training affect Goku's growth as a fighter? Let's explore how Goku's journey could have unfolded differently if he had trained with King Kai from the start. Imagine Goku, still young, but instead of training with Grandpa Gohan or Master Roshi, he's sent straight to King Kai's planet. King Kai's training is much harder than anything Goku has experienced before, pushing him beyond his limits. From the start, Goku would learn the Kaio-ken technique and increase his power levels at an astonishing rate. King Kai's influence would have shaped Goku into a disciplined fighter with a more structured approach to combat, unlike the more instinctive fighter we know from his early days. One of the biggest changes would be Goku mastering the Kaio-ken technique much earlier than in the original timeline. The Kaio-ken would allow him to boost his power many times over, giving him an advantage over enemies much stronger than him. Goku would start incorporating Kaio-ken into his battles, quickly becoming more powerful than even the Z fighters at the time. This early power boost would allow Goku to take on tougher opponents, like the Red Ribbon Army or even the Saiyan threat much sooner. With his power growth accelerated by King Kai's training, Goku would have encountered stronger foes much earlier in his journey. Imagine him facing off against the likes of King Piccolo or even the Saiyans earlier than expected. His ability to adapt to new techniques and his natural fighting instinct would help him survive these encounters, but it's clear that Goku would have become an even greater threat to his enemies. His battles against these powerful foes would have been an entirely different experience, with Goku's strength being much greater than the one we originally saw. As Goku's training under King Kai continues, he would surpass even the strongest of the Z fighters. Vegeta and Nappa would be no match for Goku at this point, and Goku's transformation into a Super Saiyan might even happen earlier. His power levels would continue to grow exponentially, with the Kaio-ken and his natural Saiyan potential amplifying each other. With this immense power at his disposal, Goku would become the undisputed strongest fighter on Earth much sooner, making him an even more essential part of the Z fighters. With Goku's enhanced strength and early exposure to advanced techniques, he would have been able to protect Earth from many of its greatest threats sooner. His early battle with powerful foes would have prepared him for the upcoming threats, including Frieza, Cell, and Majin Buu. By the time these foes arrive, Goku would have already been a seasoned fighter with the Kaio-ken and possibly even mastered Super Saiyan, making him the Earth's ultimate protector far earlier than expected. What if Goku had never left Earth to train with Master Roshi? Master Roshi's teachings were fundamental to Goku's early development, but what if Goku had stayed on Earth and never met Roshi? How would his strength have developed without the iconic training under the Turtle Hermit? Let's explore what Goku's journey might have looked like if he had chosen to stay on Earth instead of leaving for the Kame House. Without Master Roshi's influence, Goku would have continued his training on his own, or possibly with Grandpa Gohan, who taught him the basics of martial arts. While Goku is naturally strong and capable, he lacked the structured training that Roshi provided. His early years on Earth would have seen him honing his instincts and strength, but he would have lacked many of the advanced techniques that Roshi taught him, such as the Kamehameha wave. Without Roshi's guidance, Goku would have likely sought out other training methods on Earth. Perhaps he would have explored other martial arts disciplines or trained with other Earth warriors. Goku's natural abilities would still have allowed him to grow stronger, but he might have lacked the unique techniques that Roshi passed on. Additionally, Goku's battle instincts and tactical awareness might not have developed as quickly without Roshi's mentorship. One of the major consequences of Goku never meeting Master Roshi would be the lack of Krillin as his best friend and sparring partner. Krillin's presence in Goku's life has been pivotal in shaping Goku's skills and determination. Without Krillin's companionship, Goku's social development might have been different, but he would still have learned how to fight from the various Earth-based martial arts traditions. As time passes, Earth's warriors will face the arrival of enemies like the Red Ribbon Army and King Piccolo. Goku's raw power, while impressive, might not have been enough to deal with these threats without Roshi's training. Without techniques like the Kamehameha and the martial arts fundamentals, Goku may have struggled to defeat these early threats and protect his home. His lack of formal training might have led him to rely more on brute strength and instincts, potentially leading to more difficult battles. Without Master Roshi's early teachings, Goku might have been overwhelmed by the coming Saiyan invasion. His training under Roshi not only gave him powerful techniques, but also prepared him mentally for the high-stakes battles ahead. Without this foundation, Goku may have struggled against Vegeta and Nappa, making the arrival of the Saiyans even more dangerous for Earth.